Hi guys and welcome to Catch Club. We are here with one of the members of the inner circle, AEW Superstar, the Spanish God Sammy Guevara. Sammy, welcome to Catch Club.
Oh,
finally, I want to say.
Yes, finally we made it happen, man. I've only taken over your channel, like 3-4 times, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Yeah, I didn't really like it, but I asked myself a simple question. What can I do against the Spanish God? And I guess the answer is nothing.
I was thinking that too. I was like, what would I do against the Spanish guy? I was like, well, I guess I would just let it happen. Would I contact YouTube, try to make something happen? I guess we'll just, let it happen.
Yeah, you can't do anything against the Spanish God. So I wanted to ask you a first question about the current situation. Fans are really curious about where are you at the moment. So we can see that apparently you're at home. But how is it? Right. How is it going? How do you stay busy during the stay at home, and how's the situation in the US in general? How's the situation?
Well, a lot of stuff is closed. Stuff might be opening up soon, but for the most part, it's been closed. So I've just been making content, and here I'll take you to my room. I bought a bunch of weight equipment because all the gyms are closed. And so I've been hitting the gym.
Nice.
There's my cat. Hello. Hello, Benj. But yeah, so I've just been hitting the gym, and that's it. I'm trying to make content too. I have a crazy match. I don't know when this thing will be uploaded, but maybe this match will already be uploaded versus a mop and a broom with myself and NWA's Ricky Starks in a tag match.
Against a mop and a broom?
Yeah, there was a flaming table involved as well. So go check it out, guys.
Yes. And so how do you stay busy so to not drive yourself crazy? Do you play video games? Do you watch a lot of TV? Do you have any advice on what we should play, what we should watch?
Man, I'm not the biggest gamer, but I have been playing games lately. The girlfriend just made me download Animal Crossing. And then before that, I was playing GTA Online. I love GTA just because you can drive around, fly around, shoot people. It's like my favorite game.
And so did you try Animal Crossing already?
I did.
How is it?
I mean, it would be funner if you could punch people or kill people in the game. I told my girlfriend, I was like, because I went to her island because we played online, and I was like, can I steal your stuff? And she's like, no. I'm like, can I knock you out and take your stuff? No.
What can I do?
Yeah, it's just a cute game or so whatever. It's just supposed to be just for fun. But I'm like, I want to kill everybody.
And that's a reflex, wrestling fan reflex. That's our mindset.
Saying. We just want to see havoc,
And how long has it been since your last match?
Well, it's been like a month, I think. Yeah, it's been like a month.
How weird is that for you?
Honestly, I feel like wrestling at this point, because this is going to be my 10th year, it's kind of like riding a bike. So some guys, they need to constantly be training and all that. But me, I feel like I can go and have a 30-minute match tomorrow, and I wouldn't have missed a beat, So I'm excited, though. Next week, we're doing a live Dynamite, so I'm pumped for that. Finally to get back in the ring. And
so these past few weeks, you taped a few shows for AEW Dynamite. For instance, you had a match against Darby Allin, where Darby got crazy and took off your shoe and tried to break your feet. He's
and I've had lots of ankle problems. If you watch the vlogs, you've seen I've rolled my ankle many times. So that's fucked up.
As you said, you have a lot of experience. But how is it working with no crowd, no audience? You get on the stage and there's no difference at the end of the day. It's like, how do you get pumped up? How do you prepare yourself?
Well, with the wrestlers as the crowd, what we've been doing lately, it's been pretty cool. Because it's almost like there is a crowd. But the first week when I wrestled Kenny Omega, either that was the first or second week, where there was no people, not wrestlers in the crowd, just nobody. I think that was the first week we did it like that. And that was super weird because it was just I'm wrestling Kenny Omega. This dude's headlined the Tokyo Dome and 40,000 people were there. And now I'm wrestling him on TV in front of no people. And we went 23 minutes too. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And we had to cut some stuff too, so we would have went even longer. Like, I think we got our time cut a little bit, but it's just crazy to think in 2020 I'm wrestling Kenny Omega in you know, like the main event of Dynamite in front of no people.
No people, but at least you kept going, which is good for the fans, you know, because we had some content every Wednesday night, and the show was pretty good, you know. So that's always that helps people, you know, keep going. Yeah, you want
Oh,
to?
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, and like that's what my mindset has always been, too. It's like, you know, I feel like there's some things that are bigger than myself. Like, you know, if I want to stay home, what am I gonna do at home? I'm just gonna be doing what I've been doing, which is just playing video games, doing nothing. Or I can think a little bit bigger than myself and go and have a killer match on Dynamite and try to entertain some people stuck at home. So I don't mind at all wrestling in front of no people or wrestling during all this craziness, because it's like there's like a bigger purpose here, I feel like.
You're not too scared when you had to travel and stuff like that?
Nah, I mean, you know, you just got to be smart with it. You know, wear the mask, the gloves, or, you know, stay the distance from people. But a lot of times there's not a lot of people traveling either, because everyone else is scared. So the flights are kind of empty.
Sure. So let's go back to 6 months ago when you were you last appeared on CatchClub. You talked about the first ever AEW Dynamite match because it was about to happen. You were about to face Cody Rhodes on TNT. And so now, 6 months after, this happened, the first episode of AEW Dynamite. And I want to talk about that night because, you know, you had the first ever AEW Dynamite match, but then at the end of the night, you were after the main event, you guys formed the inner circle. So it was a big night for you, you know. And could you just tell us about the night in general, your memories? How did you live that night?
Man, that night was super crazy just because in general with it, it's like, you know, like you said, the first ever Dynamite match, it was very nerve-wracking because I'm like, okay, this first match of this new show, and if this match sucks, it's like I'm setting the bar for this company, kind of. And it's like, I want to do really well. And I know I can do well. You know, sometimes we're just in our own heads. But I just remember right before we're going out, I'm wearing this panda head. I'm walking back and forth. They're playing the little promo video, hyping up the match. And then, you know, then it's just like, fuck it. You know, I get so nervous sometimes, like not a lot. Like very few times I get nervous. But when I get nervous, like that night, so nervous, it's like, man, I just want to quit, you know? It's like you're just so nervous, you just want to just run away. But I always remember, like, you can't run away. You can't run away from yourself or from what you feel. You just got to deal with it. Face your fears head on. And so that's what I did that night. And I was like, screw it. Whatever happens is meant to happen. Rather, I'm going to go out there and have a killer match or go out there and have the worst match of my life. It's meant to happen, and it's all part of the Sammy story. So I went out there. I think we had a killer match. And then, so I'm getting all this buzz from that match. And then the end of the night, joining the inner circle in front of 14,000 people at the Capital One Arena. I got Chris Jericho. I got Jake Hager. I got former LAX guys. You know, it's just people I was watching on TV, and then people I even tagged with earlier that year as Santana and Ortiz. You know, it's just like crazy to think that little decisions in our lives all brought us here to this moment. And it was just a night I'll never forget.
And how fun has it been, you know, these past few months with the inner circle? We can see that you guys enjoy what you're doing.
Oh, it's been amazing, man. Chris, he's been super awesome. Like the bubbly bunch, that was all his idea. And yeah, I feel very blessed to be in this position, just because, you know, I could be in some other position, or if certain things didn't line up, maybe I would be with a different company. You know, everything worked out, and I'm having the time of my life right now and trying to kill it every single time. Like, I feel like some guys, they might get to this position and maybe just take it easy. Like, okay, I'm in this position now. Let's just see what happens. And I'm not doing that. Anytime I go out there, I'm like, let me do the craziest thing to get remembered, no matter what it is. I think we had one of the best super kicks. It's up there with the HBK in Shelton.
It was crazy.
That's where I rolled my ankle, but I was like, fuck it, you know, it was worth it in hindsight.
And so you just mentioned Chris Jericho, of course, Le Champion. So You guys developed some kind of there it is. That's the man. So you guys developed some kind of relationship, like best friends these past few months. Uh, that's kind of a stupid question, but what do you learn from such kind of legend like Jericho? Because I guess he brings a lot to AEW. Can you tell us, as a young wrestler, what do you take from him?
Man, Jericho, he's taught me a lot just like observing him. I remember one of them is just, so we were on commentary together one of the weeks, and he's putting over John Moxley of how great he is. And I'm just watching him, and I'm like, huh. Because he told me about this before, but now I'm seeing it live in action, where it's like he's putting over his opponent of how good they are, instead of doing the typical thing where it's like, that guy sucks, I'm going to beat him because he ain't nothing. It's like, no, he's actually saying he's a very good opponent, but I'm so great that I'm going to beat him, even though he's so great. And I'm just like, this is what he was talking about. And definitely the past couple months, I feel like everything has grown. Like, our bond as a group, I feel like we have definitely, everybody's like up their game, and it's become even funner. Like the beginning, we're all like, we're in this group, but now I feel like we're legitimately, like, we all text each other in a group chat. Like, I feel like we're all legitimate friends,
It created something like behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, and that's why the fans can feel it. When we see you guys together, we can see you guys enjoying yourselves all the time. There's a real connection now.
Yeah, and the fact that now there's some T-shirts with we got the Bubbly Bunch shirt, and I'm working on getting a Sex God shirt made. Me and Chris. That's our tag name. Is him and I will tag together on Wednesday against Matt and Kenny.
Yes.
And so if we can get some Sex Gods merch too, that'd be really dope.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. We're gonna do some fantasy booking, but nothing too complicated. Yeah. A few days ago, you heard the news. Everybody heard the news. Many wrestlers got released by WWE. Like the Revival, people like Rusev, Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, EC3, and many others. Now, of course, all of these wrestlers are great wrestlers, and they would be great additions to AEW, of course. But let's imagine for a second that you could pick a couple of guys. You could pick a couple of guys that could join AEW right now. Who would you
Let's
choose?
see. Well, I know Kurt Angle was one of those guys.
Yes.
I'd want to pick up Kurt if he could still wrestle every now and then. We don't need him to wrestle every week.
Of course.
But if we could have him wrestle every now and then, just select dates, kind of keep his prestige of that. I feel like that would be a really good, and he could have some awesome matches, not only with myself, but a lot of other guys. I feel like he's a guy that could teach us a lot. Kurt's definitely up there. Zack Ryder, that'd be dope to have him. I forgot. I don't know what his new name's going to be, but that's definitely a guy. Matt something, right? Matt
Cardona?
Yeah. So, like, he'd be a cool pick. That dude's super creative. He was one of the first people to do, like, with his True Island Ice Stories or whatever it was called. Like, that kind of changed the game. And, like, even for me with my vlogs and stuff.
He was on YouTube before we knew what it was.
Exactly. Like, he blew up and made something of that, like, before anybody that I know of. And I was just like, what a genius to capitalize on this tool that we have that we're talking right now on the internet. Like, he saw it before anybody else did. And then who else? There was a lot of guys that got taken, or that not taken, but there's a lot of guys that got released. So yeah, those are two off the top of my head.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question about your character and like your universe, because we've seen in the past few weeks, some kind of mini movies matches, like they called it, with the Firefly Funhouse match and stuff like that, and even before that, of course, the Broken Universe.
Yeah, the inventor, Matt Hardy.
Of course. So people want to see more of these matches in the future. And usually when a wrestler has a match like that, it's in his own backyard, his own place. Like for The Undertaker, it was a graveyard. For Bray Wyatt, it was the Firefly Funhouse match. For Matt Hardy, it's his compound. If Sammy Guevara had a mini-movie type match, where would you do it? Where would you film it? And do you have maybe even an opponent in mind with who you would want to do this? Like white card, anything you want.
Yes. It'd be at Hugh Hefner's mansion. The Playboy Mansion for sure for the Spanish sex god.
I want to be referee.
There we go. Yes, you can be the referee. And then who would I go against? If we can go back in time, let's get Ravishing Rick Rude versus Sammy Guevara.
Okay, yeah, cool. that would be a dream match, of course. Yeah, so we'll ask to the Playboy Mansion.
Yes.
If that's doable, and maybe one day on AEW Dynamite.
Or if not, let's get me and Jungle Boy. I feel like a lot of the ladies like Jungle Boy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He has a huge following.
Yeah.
So, quickly about we talked about your run the past 6 months. It's only been 6 months, but can you already tell us a few moments that stand out in your mind, like moments you really enjoyed in AEW, best moments so far?
Man, this was actually a couple, like maybe a month or two ago. Losing track of time, but I think maybe we were in Denver, and I was tagging with Chris, and the crowd was just so hot, like they were so into it, and at one point they start chanting, "Fuck you, Sammy!" da, 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 "Fuck you, Sammy!" And like it was so loud, and I just remember thinking like, I'm over. I'm really hated. Like that was a moment that's up there. But besides that, man, there's just been a lot of things. Like the pay-per-view, of course, that crowd was awesome. I'm a very hated guy every Wednesday, or just in AEW and AEW in general. So the Revolution pay-per-view was awesome.
Yeah. But people love your singing.
That's right. Hey, that one really blew up. People really love my singing. I think I'm just really good. Maybe I don't need to wrestle no more.
You have another career ready, just in case.
I think
but
so.
Yeah, I think that's two moments that French fans talked a lot about this past few weeks. When you sang the Judas theme, and also when you made out.
Yes, that was another moment.
With a cardboard.
Yeah, with the picture of Brandy. Yeah. When you're gonna go make out with a sign, do you just do a little peck? No, you got to go all in. Just screw it. You're making out with a sign. Might as well just go all in, tongue and all. And that's what I went for.
Did Brandy say anything backstage after the match?
She didn't say anything, but I saw with her eyes that, she wished it was her. I could see. Because, like, I had my glasses on. Because,
obviously.
Well, because I have my glasses on not because it's, like, dark, or not because it's bright. It's actually dark outside. I put them on because my future's too bright. And I could see with her eyes, though, and I saw, I could tell. I could read her soul, and it said, "I wish you were Cody." That's what I heard. Yeah.
Of course. And she's not the only one, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a Spanish sex guy.
Spanish God.
I tell her, though, I'm like, please, you're married. That's inappropriate.
And so, that was one of the bests. But I got to ask you a question about the worst. Okay. Do you have like a worst time in your career? A moment maybe when you wanted to give up? Has it ever happened?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a weekly battle, or a day-by-day battle. I've been dropped on my head many times by other people, like on the indies and stuff like that. Like I've taken some nasty falls, and for little money. And I just remember one time I got dropped really bad on my neck, and it was so stiff like the next several days. And I just remember laying in bed at my mom's house. I barely had any money. I probably had $5 in my bank account, if that. I just remember thinking, like, am I going to be able to do this? Like, I don't know how much, like, what if I keep getting dropped in my head? Like, this is so dangerous. Like, wrestling's a show and all that, but, you can get legitimately injured. You can die. And I feel like I got very close to having a very, very significant injury there. Like, just a little bit tilted a little bit more as we're falling, and it's all over for me. And that was just a moment I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I just remember thinking, like, but I got to do this. And I remember I was crying because I was just like, I didn't know what to do. And I'm just like, I can do this. Like, I whatever it's going to take, I'm going to fucking do this. And I'm glad I didn't quit, Yeah,
that's just the mentality that helps you get through it.
Yeah, I mean, I could have very easily just, been like, you know what, that was a hard fall. fuck it. I gave it a try. It's too dangerous for me.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I just got to try to be even safer next time, you know? Like, don't let people pick me up who I don't exactly trust, you know?
Sure.
So.
And did you ever have serious injuries in your career?
I think the most serious one was probably the scar I have on the back of my head. It's from Mexico. A couple of years ago, I was laying in the corner, and I was sitting in the corner, and the guy came with double knees and hit me so hard that my head whiplashed back, and then the metal post that goes from the ring post to the buckle, this metal part was exposed, no padding on it, so my head hit it, and it just instantly just sliced it open, and I had to get stitches in Mexico, and it was a very scary time.
Nice experience, I guess, yeah.
And I still had to wrestle the very next week. I missed one show the day after, but then I wrestled at Wrestle Circus in a 6-man, and we went through a bunch of chairs, very safe stuff. Then I wrestled Keith Lee the very next day, so I made it very easy on myself, you know? Lots of bumps that guy gave me that day.
And was he a little softer because he saw that you were hurt? Or not?
Oh, no. I told him, I was like, if I show up, we're going. And we went. He power bombed me on some bleachers. He gave me 1 million power bombs. I was glad when that match was over. Yeah. 1 million of those chops, too. Those big-ass fucking chops. Fuck that.
So we're going to talk a little bit also about your YouTube channel because, you know, first of all, I want to congratulate you because 6 months ago, when you did the Q&A, you had 30,000 followers.
I know.
That's 6 months ago. And right now, you have more than 100,000 followers. So that's amazing. You know, it's big. It's really growing. Yeah, there it is.
Hey, 100,000.
So, yeah, congratulations for that. And I wanted to know, you know, because for me, for instance, something happened in my life, you know, that made me launch my YouTube channel and my website and stuff like that. I wanted to know, how did you decide to open yours?
Well, I've always kind of liked to make videos for as long as I can remember. I would always make videos like this channel I've had for 11 years. I used to upload backyard wrestling videos. They're all private. You'll never find them. But yeah, I would just upload me and my friends in my backyard, me jumping off my roof. Then I started changing that when I stopped backyard wrestling. I started training, and I'm like, what can I upload now? I try to do like a talk show thing with wrestling where I talk about the news that's happening in wrestling and just make jokes and stuff. I thought it was kind of funny. I don't think the rest of the people I was joking about thought it was funny. So those are private as well. You'll never find those. And I just really like to make videos. So I think when I'm done wrestling, it's probably what I'll end up doing, something with video. And then eventually I saw not a lot of people are doing, or anybody, I don't know, was doing anything with like vlog style videos with wrestling. So I'm like, all right, let's try that. And some people started to like it, and then some more and some more. And then, as you said, 6 months ago to now, I blew up even more. So hopefully by next year, we'll see where we're at. We got the 100,000 plaque, and now we're going to go try to get the 1 million plaque.
1 million plaque. So that's the next goal. We're going to end with this little basic question. What are the next goals for Sammy Guevara and for the Inner Circle? Because right now, Jericho lost the title. Jake Hager couldn't take it back. So maybe it should be your turn to try.
Hey, maybe. I mean, definitely. That's the next goals is the 1 million plaque and the AEW World Heavyweight title. Those are two things that I'm going to have in this apartment. If I still live here, I might have a house or something. I don't know. People have been talking to me like, you should buy a house. And I'm like, man, I should just chill though. I like to just chill. Like, what's wrong with me just staying here? I don't know.
You like your place?
Yeah.
So why change?
But I feel like people are always like, you got to do this. You got to do this. I'm like, do I got to though? Like, can I just chill? Yeah.
So we wish you the best, man. We wish you to become AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
And it'll be just
So, Sammy, thank you again very much for your appearance here on CatchClub. And I hope we can see you again maybe in a few months to do a little update. And
yes, we'll definitely make it happen, my brother. But in the meantime, you guys can catch me every Tuesday night with French commentary on Toonami, right? Nailed it?
That's right. Yeah, Toonami.
I nailed it. Or you can catch me every Tuesday as well on my YouTube channel, Sammy Guevara. Link in bio, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a pinned comment. Whatever this man wants to do. I'm not hacking his channel this video, so this is all up to him what he wants to do. But either way, catch me there. And make sure to subscribe to CatchClub, baby. There we go.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sammy, again. See you Wednesday night on Dynamite. And see you soon on CatchClub. Bye, guys.
Yes. Bye.